Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another classic created by FlyingIron Simulations. Shortly before we begin, hello and welcome to this channel, the right place for the latest developments on Microsoft Flight Simulator, marketplace updates, release notes and many more interesting areas related specifically for flight simming. This is the right place, so hit that subscribe button for future releases. One of the most legendary aircrafts in history, the Spitfire. A British single-seat fighter aircraft which was used by the Royal Air Force, RAF in short, along with many other allies during the World War II. Using several configurations, different variances were manufactured. This amazing aircraft was designed as a short-range, high-performance interceptor aircraft with cutting-edge sunken rivets in order to have the cross-section as thin as possible, which can deliver a much more advantage to the aircraft to meet high top speeds when compared to several contemporary aircrafts. A team of two brothers based in the beautiful place of Australia, Sydney, FlyingIron Simulations, a growing team who are passionate towards aviation and flight simulation from several years, focusing mainly on military aircraft, have created this. They worked with different platforms over the years and developed high quality content towards X-Plane 11, DCS, and right now they're focused towards Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is definitely an interesting piece, as many developers are slowly focusing towards this simulator that makes it a much more enjoyable experience. So FlyingIron Simulations are keen on developing interesting content. This is certainly something to note. Observing the plane, it's quite a detailed aircraft that appears to be covered overall in terms of textures, the use of good quality materials. Interiors look very interesting that appear signs of age that makes it look more like a classic. The cockpit has several instruments which have been responsive when we got a chance to try. Looking at the left side of the panel, the pneumatic pressure gauge, oxygen regulator control valve, elevator trim gauge, clock, magnetos, mixture control lever on the far left corner, radio systems on the upper left area of the panel, flaps and navigation light controls appear to be functional and responsive. Towards the center panel of the cockpit, the IAS gauge, barometric altitude, artificial horizon, slip indicator, climb rate indication, magnetic compass and starter and booster buttons function quite well and have been constructed appearing to be quite realistic. On the lower side of the central panel, we can see the main fuel tank control as well as the primary compass which are being displayed here. Looking at the right hand side of the panel, we can observe the engine RPM meter, the engine boost gauge, oil and radiator temperature gauges, fuel quantity gauge, wobble pump, and on the lower end of the right panel, we can also see the fuel tank pressure cock. Something to note is that the Spitfire doesn't have a battery or electric controls in the cockpit. Usually in real life, batteries were connected to the terminal on the ground by the staff. On the left hand side of the cockpit, we can see several other switches and knobs which are functional right from the test switch, which is located in the far lower left side of the panel, that include the radiator test switch, supercharger test, as well as the engine test button. You need to keep this in mind that the engine test button is not functional. Right next to this is the rubber bears knob where you can control the rudder trim, the rad flap button which include the automatic radiator control as well as the full open radiators, the heat switch as well as the fuel booster pump which is located right next to each other. The elevator trim wheel is easily located, which is the large black wheel. The carburetor dust filter along with the router prop control and mixture cutoff control with the magneto switches and the battery appear to be functional. Observing the right hand side of the control cockpit, the starboard controls appear to be well designed and functional, which include the undercarriage control lever, windscreen, de-icing control, wobble pump, the IFF self-destruct button, emergency undercarriage control, as well as the oxygen flow control valve. Observing the whole cockpit closely, we can see signs of age that gives us a convincing feel that this is a classic aircraft. Each instrument have been closely constructed in order to develop well and function as expected. FlyingIron Simulations is very passionate on developing military aircrafts, and this includes using a professional WY sound design with the help of experienced professional sound engineers. It's definitely thrilling to fly one of these birds in the skies, and it's exciting. We have numerous planes over the months for the simulator in different categories. This one's a classic war aircraft that is incredible with the level of immersion and detail the team of FlyingIron simulations have given us. The visuals, which are perfect overall, and with the latest platform's expectations, things aren't easy to develop. The team has considered all these aspects so as to meet the standards of expectations when using tools under Software Development Kit, along with the great use of PBR materials. Can't be really happier with something like a Spitfire in our collection for sure, I would say. We did receive an update for the Spitfire as of yesterday, which was the 12th of March, that has another set of additions towards this. This clearly shows that the developers are interested to take the experience another step further. A lot of extensive research has been done so that every detail can be as realistic as possible, along with flight dynamics, startup procedures, failures, flight systems, and many more areas. Sold at $27, you can find this beautiful piece of history in the developer's website. I'll include the links in the description below, so you can get a chance to look at this and decide whether to purchase this or not. I would strongly recommend this, as this is a piece of history. This is certainly a piece of art by FlyingIron Simulations. We got a chance to fly this beautiful bird in the skies of London, and we couldn't be much more impressed, as the performance, sound, look and feel, and the way it responds to flight dynamics were pretty much realistic. Certainly a piece of history. We hope to see much more line of products coming from FlyingIron Simulations. Do give this a try. The link can be found in the description below. We hope you enjoyed this video. Do hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit that thumbs up if you like this video. It can always make a difference for us. We hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, so stay tuned and take care.